Tina Charles Sue Bird podcast, the snippet that has come out and is making the rounds, and my God, you want to talk about nuclear backlash against these two. I'm really disappointed in Sue Bird. She's been largely positive when it's come to things involving Caitlin Clark. I will tell you something that sends a shiver of fear down my spine when it comes to Sue Bird now.
Caitlin Clark just took a roast session that lit up WNBA headlines by Sue Bird and Tina Charles on live TV. If there were medals for disrespect, women in the WNBA would be on the podium. It raises the question, should Clark step away from this toxic league and try to explore different options such as Unrivaled? Stick around, because what just unfolded may be the most eye-opening moment women's basketball has seen in years.
Really curious your thoughts just on this whole conversation about the physicality of the league. Coming in 2010, coming in now, do you think it's that much different? Has it changed?
I think it's softer.
It's softer now?
Yeah.
LOL.
I think it's softer.
Everybody thinks it's like a fucking fight out there every night. I know.
No, the only thing that is like, I mean, keeping me from is just like age, you're not as athletic, the motor and all of that, but I think it's softer and the bigs aren't as big, like.
Yeah, so for you especially, it's less pounding probably.
Yeah, like I was going up against Erica De Sosa, Sancho Little, freaking even Camille Little, like even your power forwards were.
They claim that today's WNBA is softer than a travel ball tournament. The hosts laugh, the clip runs, and in the span of one viral minute, the internet decides the two legends aren't legends anymore. They're mean girl royalty. Social media explodes.
Got a feeling CC will decline a 2028 Team USA offers if she's even in this garbage league by then.
But the fallout isn't just social media noise. It's a warning flare revealing every crack in the league's foundation. And once you see how deep those cracks run, you can't unsee them.
And now we have the newest one. We have Sue Bird. Yes, Sue Bird, the 5-time Olympian gold medalist, the 4-time WNBA champion Sue Bird. I've seen this girl praise Caitlin Clark. I've seen this girl throw shade at Caitlin Clark. But this one kind of takes the cake. See, here's my thing about it. I don't like Cheryl Swoop for the way she talks about Caitlin Clark. She has no problem lying on these podcasts and whatnot. However, you don't gotta guess, does she like Caitlin Clark? She don't like her, and that's just what it is. I can respect that. I know Angel Reese does not like Caitlin Clark. I can respect the fact that she don't big her up. At least you're standing on it. Don't be fake. Don't lie, but don't be fake either. Don't smile on her face and stab her in the back.
Every wildfire starts with a spark, and this one lit when Bird asked Charles if today's game feels more physical than back in their prime. Charles didn't hesitate. Honestly, it's softer now. Then recounted guarding superstars like she was reciting villains in an old action movie. Bird doubled over in laughter, and the audio captured that unmistakable snort that says we're not worried about blowback. They even joked that modern bigs aren't as big, a line that sliced through Clark's highlight reel like a rusty blade. It was her collision with Connecticut's Marina Mabrey they were really riffing on, and everyone listening knew it. In isolation, the banter might have landed as harmless nostalgia, but context is a ruthless judge.
So JC and Caitlin got into a little bit.
Like,
you see Caitlin push her, you go, yo!
Yeah, it's just watch yourself.
Then Mabry comes in.
Yeah, Marina go Caitlin, Marina though.
Yeah, knocks her down. And then you see Tina go, it wasn't me. Immediately.
But yeah, I'm still like talking my shit like, yeah, just chill out.
Yo, I was crying.
I know, everybody was hitting me up.
It was that all angle you needed.
Everybody was like, yo, you took her back to Southside Jamaica, Queens.
10 seconds after the clip online, fans stitched it next to slow motion footage of Clark's head snapping back on hard wood. This is comedy to them? One person said online. Within an hour, the tweets piled higher than Caitlin's 3-point record. Redditors called it Mean Girl Radio, talking about locker room hazing. People kept saying, can't make this up. The moment felt petty, but the stakes were gigantic, because Sue Bird isn't just any retired star doing a hobby podcast. She now holds the sport's most powerful clipboard, and that clipboard controls Olympic dreams.
Can't take the old WNBA guard out of the old WNBA guard, right? She came up through this corrupt WNBA system, and now she's the managing director for the U.S. a women's national team. In other words, the Olympics. You see this comment, hugely disappointed and lost all respect for both Sue Bird and Tina Charles. How is this okay? Caitlin, don't play in the Olympics if Sue has anything to do with it.
8 weeks earlier, USA Basketball crowned Bird as the first ever managing director of the women's national team. Translation, she's the person who will approve, deny, and steer every Olympic roster spot from Paris 2024 through Los Angeles 2028. When that title hit the press wire, it sounded like the ultimate fairy tale coda, a decorated floor general turning architect of the next dynasty. Until the podcast Laughter reframed everything. If Bird could chuckle at a player's whiplash, fans wondered what else might she shrug off behind closed doors. For Clark supporters, deja vu flared. They still remember the Paris snub. The 12-player roster dropped last summer without the NCAA scoring queen, while marketing experts gasped like they'd watched $1 billion walk out the door.
This is how you treat your prized possession? This is how you treat your cash cow? This is how you treat your savior? This is how you treat the young woman responsible for elevating this unbelievably rancid turd? Well, Casey, why are you acting so surprised? We've always known that the WNBA doesn't know how to treat their stars properly.
Talk to anyone who's followed Clark's rise, and they'll tell you the Olympic snub was the second loudest slap in a single season, the loudest being the nightly hazing that turned her rookie year into a contact sports sociology experiment. It started opening night when a veteran hip-checked her so hard she skidded across the scorer's table like a curling stone. It escalated in Phoenix when she absorbed 2 hacks in 30 seconds before the ref finally blew a mercy whistle. But the hits themselves weren't the headline. It was the silence afterward. Teammates relacing shoes instead of offering a hand. Bench units staring at the floor like they'd lost a phone. High fives rationed like World War II sugar. Every clip screamed the same message. Earn your stripes, then maybe we'll care if you bleed. And the stats didn't soften the optics. Clark annihilated the fan vote for the All-Star game, yet finished 9th in player voting, slotting behind reserves who average fewer points than she tallies from logo range on a cold night. Analysts called it rookie hazing, but fans called it jealousy with a scoreboard.
Caitlin Clark finished 9th in player voting. In fact, she finished behind one of her own teammates in player voting for the All-Star game. The pettiness has no bounds. But it's interesting, for years, the WNBA players were pointing fingers. They were saying people are sexist, the media is sexist, we're not being promoted, we're underappreciated. And then they get the golden goose and they don't like what it looks like. Iowa girl, Indiana girl. Well, who knows, and I've said this for years, when the wave hits, ride it.
The scoreboard, by the way, glows neon green for whoever's cashing checks. Clark's base salary sits at $150,000, a number the league can't adjust because rookie contracts are hard capped. But her endorsements dwarf that by a comma and a half. Wilson signed her to a signature ball line that sold out in 90 minutes.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
Gatorade filmed a commercial that ran during NFL prime time. Word leaked of a docuseries bidding war where Amazon reportedly outspent Netflix. Meanwhile, several vets still play in Turkey and Russia each winter for rent money. The financial delta is a chasm, and money always magnifies resentment. So when Bird and Charles laughed, they weren't just laughing at soft offenses. They were, intentionally or not, laughing at the kid whose mere existence forces a reckoning with decades of undermarketing. That sting resonates beyond the court. League sponsors are already whispering about 2 futures. One where Clark is celebrated and one where she's sidelined. Spoiler, advertisers rarely choose the sidelined option.
Because I can tell you right now, with Caitlin Clark fans, there's going to be a tipping point where it goes to the other direction. And that other direction is bleep this league. We're out. We're tired of watching the person we want to support get the shit beat out of them during these games.
Mainstream media hasn't helped. Christine Brennan's just released on her game slams the WNBA for fumbling its Jordan moment, citing Clark's treatment as case study number 1. On ESPN, Stephen A. Smith ranted that gatekeeping is killing the goose before it lays the gold egg. Even ordinarily diplomatic Doris Burke let slip, you can't grow if you alienate your growth engine. Yet official league responses land with the vibe of an IT auto reply. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert fields every question with, "Player safety is our priority," a phrase so worn fans joke it should be printed on a jersey patch. The disconnect between corporate calm and viral chaos is so stark you'd think they were two separate sports.
The EuroLeague would pay her millions and actually take her in with open arms. Absolutely. If anybody wondered what golf would be like if all the players bashed Tiger Woods versus embracing him and welcoming him with the, quote, high tide raises all boats mentality, the WNBA is showing us. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert needs to be fired immediately.
Here's where the story turns from messy to existential. Picture Clark entering free agency in 2028. The summer Los Angeles hosts the Olympics Bird is building. Now picture a Saudi Women's Super League offering her $15 million tax-free to be its inaugural star. Or Mark Cuban fronting a breakaway American Super League with Clark as founding stakeholder. Suddenly the pettiness isn't just unkind, it's unthinkably expensive. Even a rumor of Clark exploring alternatives would shave value off every broadcast contract Engelbert negotiates. And Bird, she'd be remembered less for 5 gold medals and more for the laugh that cost U.S. basketball its face of the future.
Clark had another, whatever you want to call it, confrontation in a WNBA game. Like, why is this happening? The Caitlin Clark phenomenon is one that I got wrong. I never really thought that Caitlin Clark would make the difference that she has in college basketball or in the WNBA. What other sports analogies are out there that are in any way similar to the impact that one individual has had on a larger sporting universe?
League insiders insist cooler heads will prevail, yet every game provides fresh B-roll for outrage. When Clark delivers a 32-point, 13-assist clinic, teammates barely nod. When she celebrates a no-look dime, opponents mock her handshake routine. On social media, her highlight packages draw NFL-level clicks, but locker room vibes look like the last day of group project week when nobody trusts anybody else. At its core, the conflict isn't about X's and O's, it's about legacy. The old guard earned their place when gyms were half empty and ESPN ignored scores. Clark arrives to red carpets and sold-out arenas, and that warp speed shift unsettles everyone who once begged for any attention at all. It feels unfair that she skipped their suffering stage, even if her talent and charisma built a new stage entirely.
Fans were very pro Sue Bird because to this point, she had been pretty good about calling fair balls and strikes. This is repugnant shit right here. This is intentionally avoiding what really happened because it doesn't fit your narrative.
So we arrive at the crossroads. One path, the WNBA rallies around Clark, sells the rivalry without selling her soul, and rides a golden wave into mainstream permanence. The other, jealousy keeps swinging elbows. A league built on empowerment eats its brightest light, and the game regresses, while Clark stacks sponsorships somewhere else. The choice seems obvious, yet ego is a stubborn opponent. As long as highlight reels are paired with eye rolls instead of applause, each bruise on Clark's arm becomes another bruise on the brand's future. The final buzzer hasn't sounded, but the shot clock is ticking. Will the league embrace the lightning rod and forge a dynasty, or keep mistaking pride for defense until the gatekeepers are guarding an empty court? Because history never remembers the ones who blocked the door. Only the one who walked through it, changed the rules, and forced everyone to play a new game.